Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Leia Loves. We are reviewing Insolence Eau de Parfum and Eau de Toilette by Guerlain. I wanted to do kind of a comparison video because I had not seen too many of those on YouTube. Unfortunately, a tragedy occurred. I put these into my drawer and the backings of the drawer handles, the little screws that hold the handles on the drawers, scratched the boxes, both of them. So this is kind of what we're left with. But fortunately, that means the boxes did protect the bottles from being scratched up. So I will continue to keep them in the boxes to keep them safe. Anyways, yes, even though they don't look too different, aside from the fact that the Toilette has a lighter pink juice and the Parfum has a darker purple juice, there are quite some differences that may affect which ones you would choose to purchase. I kind of wanted to lay out the similarities and differences in both the scents themselves and the performance so you can decide which one you think would be better for you, your life, and your perfume needs. Now, though I do own both, that is simply because I was getting a great deal on FragranceNet. They were each either $30 or $40, and in comparison to the price that you would pay if you bought them on Nordstrom or at a Guerlain store or their website, even though I'm not sure if you can purchase it off of their website, at least in the US, I could just justify getting both, especially because I got the Parfum first. And I loved it so much that I was like, yes, the Toilette, I need a backup and I may as well just try the other version. But I don't think that they are so different that they could be different perfumes. I saw someone say that. I don't think that's the case. And I don't think they're different enough where you need both. But if you do want both and can get a good deal, they are different. But again, not different enough to justify getting them both, thinking that you're going to get something very different from each one. That whole confusing little spiel being said, I'm going to start laying out the differences. I'm going to start with the Eau de Toilette because I wore that one first when I was in the testing phases of these fragrances. When wearing both of these fragrances, I applied 2 sprays because, again, I'm not an oversprayer and I kind of want you to get a sense of the performance without the performance being enhanced simply by using more. So I did use 2 sprays and I did not use any moisturizer underneath. The Eau de Toilette has only slightly different notes from the Eau de Parfum. So the notes are violet, iris, red berries, and orange blossom. For me, I definitely smell the sweet candied violet scent that everyone always talks about when they talk about this on YouTube. I also smell a little bit of citrus, like a little bit of a powdery citrus, almost like an orange pixie stick. And I also smell the red berries, but that is pretty faint. I don't smell it very strongly, but it definitely is there and it definitely adds a fruity aspect to it. This perfume on me lasted about 6 to 8 hours. On the 6th hour, it was quite strong for being on that long, but by the 7th and 8th hour, it faded into more of a skin scent that you kind of have to like get close to it to be able to smell it on yourself. But after about 3 to 4 hours of wear, it faded more from a powdery violet smell to a more, again, orange pixie stick or orange sweet tart smell, if you've ever smelled that. So it was very sweet, fruity with a little bit of a tartness. And I just thought it was really beautiful. It definitely has a sparkly quality about it, more so than the Parfum does. And I just think it's absolutely beautiful. Now on this, the projection and sillage are incredible. So when you walk into a room with someone for both of these, I found, they kind of don't smell it at first, but once they catch the first whiff of this, once you get close to them and then you like move away or move around the room, it begins to fill the room and they can definitely smell it, and they can smell it on you from like 10 feet away. It is absolutely incredible and it leaves a beautiful trail. Again, it fills a huge room and it is just absolutely stunning. And that quality alone will definitely get you compliments, but the beautiful, fresh, sweet, powdery smell will definitely get you compliments as well. It is just absolutely stunning, and yeah, I just think it is absolutely beautiful. This one I do think has the prettier bottle just because the juice has that light pink, beautiful like tint to it, and I just think it's absolutely stunning. These both out on a vanity or in your perfume tray are sure to grab attention, and I don't know, whenever I see this in a thumbnail, I automatically want to click on the video. Overall, like the frosted glass, the bee bottle, the beautiful cap, the gold, like the name, I just think the aesthetic of this perfume is really stunning, and the fragrance itself is so unique and classy, and I feel like it is ageless. Like I feel like anyone of any age could wear this and rock this and pull this off so well. And I don't know, I just think it is a beautiful fragrance, and it is one of my favorite fragrances. All that being said, you may think the Toilette is my favorite, but you would be surprised to know that the Parfum is actually my favorite of the two. And that is simply because of the main difference between these two, which is that this one is more powdery sweet and the other one is slightly more fruity. So this one is quite a bit richer, which tends to be the case with the Parfum version of a scent. But I don't know, this one just definitely, it takes on like this beautiful, almost vanilla, powdery vibe to it that I just think is absolutely stunning. Now, vanilla is not listed in the notes. The notes are violet, iris, red berries, and powdery notes. So if you can highlight that, the notes are the same for both, aside from the orange blossom in the first one and the powdery notes in this one. Now, the powdery notes in here are very kind of makeup-y powdery, like kind of a MAC lipstick makeup-y powdery, and it definitely has a bit of a vanilla sweetness that kind of adds to the richness of this fragrance. Now this one also lasts 6 to 8 hours, but this one on the 6th hour is more faded than the 6th hour of the Toilette, and by the 7th and 8th hour it is definitely pretty much mostly gone, and you kind of have to put your skin right up to your nose to be able to smell it, which is surprising because parfums tend to last longer. But in the case of Insolence, the Parfum actually lasts less time. Now, this one, yes, it still smells like the candied violets, but it has, again, the vanilla sweet powderiness, and you definitely do get the red berry a little bit more in this one, and I don't really get any citrus. After like an hour or two, though, this one begins to fade to the same sweet tart pixie stick candy smell, which has a little bit of a tartness along with the powdery sugariness, because those are very powdery candies. And yes, the violet in these is both like strong, but in this one I think the violet and the iris are stronger. This one also has the same projection where it fills a room, it leaves a beautiful trail, etc. But yeah, I don't know. The other one I could definitely smell under my nose stronger. This one, after a few minutes, I couldn't really smell it on myself anymore unless I like kind of spun around and like wafted it into the air, or brought my skin on my wrist up to my nose where I sprayed the perfume. They both linger all day, but this one's lingering is definitely weaker, and that is really surprising because most people say this one lasts longer. Now, the performance, it isn't that different. It's not that big of a deal. It's just kind of an hour or two difference between how long these last, but it's definitely noticeable that this one doesn't last as long. Despite that, if you're kind of an oversprayer, I think that would take care of the problem. But it is important to note in case that is something that's important to you or would make or break this fragrance for you. But I mean, despite all of those performative differences, I still think this one is my favorite just because of how powdery and rich and sweet, but that is definitely up to personal preference. If you definitely know you prefer a more fruity, citrusy, sparkly smell, you will like the Toilette and you will enjoy the improved performance. But if you do know you like the richer, sweeter, more powdery smells, you will like this one more, and you will be able to overlook the slight performance differences. But I don't know, I feel like even straight out of the bottle, they both smell the same, like an iris, sweet, powdery, violet smell. But it's just when it gets onto your skin, the differences begin to show up. So that is my review and comparison of the Guerlain Insolence Eau de Parfum and Eau de Toilette. Again, the performances are slightly different, but they both perform generally well, which is kind of expected of Guerlain fragrances, as they do an amazing job with their formulations, and just the way they make their perfumes is so unique and so stunning. But this definitely has to be my favorite kind of thing that they've done, and the most unique, in my opinion, thing that they've done, even though I've only smelled a few of their fragrances. I would, again, recommend getting them both if you can get a good deal. I have a 50 ml of both, and I would recommend getting that instead of 100 ml of just one, because then you can kind of wear one or the other depending on your mood or depending on the weather, if you want something more rich or more fruity, but still that same vibe. So I think it gives you more options. But again, if you do know you definitely like one type more than the other, I would recommend getting just one. But yes, I think they're incredible. I would highly recommend them. You can get them for pretty cheap on FragranceNet, FragranceX, eBay. I've seen them on a couple websites that I don't know too much about, but if you see them on a website and you know the website's reputable and you can get a good deal, I'd recommend snatching these up because I just think they are incredible and so beautiful to add to your collection. So yes, those are my thoughts. If you guys have tried these before, please leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you find anything different to what I've said in the performance or the way these fragrances behave, please let me know about that as well and help each other out, because I think that's what's beautiful about the fragrance community, is that we can all give each other opinions and learn from each other. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this helped you choose which one you want to buy if you were interested in purchasing, and I hope to see you in my next video. Goodbye.